You played a game of Valorant or League of Legends and wondered how got my characters created? Well, in today's video we will see how Riot illustrators really draw and how they create these incredible environments and characters. So let's start with the first one, Kan Liu, or also known as Art of 666K. Kan Liu is a powerhouse in the world of game art, known for his incredible ability to bring characters and worlds to life. One of the defining features of his work is the dynamic composition that immediately draws the viewer into the narrative. The attention to detail in Kan Liu's work is truly exponential. From the intricacies of armor and clothing to the subtleties of facial expressions, every element is meticulously crafted. This commitment to detail not only showcases his technical prowess, but also contributes to the immersive quality of his illustrations. But now let's see how he actually draws. And let's start with the sketching stage. First of all, he starts with a very rough sketch. It gives me a little bit of Lob vibes. I made a video about him too. It's very interesting that he doesn't start with a black color, he starts with an orange one. And by the way, don't be wondering that I'm only showing a screenshot of his sketching stage, because I couldn't find any footage of his sketching, except from some traditional ones. He starts with orange because the coloring stage will look much more vibrant and saturated. Because I know from myself, always when I go from a black and white grayscale stage to the coloring stage, it looks always so desaturated, and that's the reason why I always make the color curves right. Now let's move to the coloring stage. And here he does a crazy move. He straight up draws over the orange sketch, and that very roughly. And that actually opened my mind, because that technique brings of course some benefits. The biggest benefit is of course that you can't see any sketch lines anymore. We can see that he leaves some areas white, and he does that for the highlights. After he roughly colored his character, he adds the background. Now he fills the areas for the highlight, and we can see that his approach is very smart too. Because for example the leg, we can see he already chose a base color for it, and now he knows which highlight color will fit the best, especially because he added the background. We can really see how he works in steps and not in pure chaos. Like when he was done with the highlights and the base color on the character, he starts on focusing on the background, and again no chaos, he chose one color, put it on the canvas, then moved back to the character and added some more colors, but still very roughly. And again back on the background and also very rough. But here we can really see how he sculptures this kind of wave. It's just amazing for me how confident he is with colors. Now he makes something insane. With that I mean this kind of bubbles of water particles. I don't know how to call it, but you know what I mean. Let's be real, that just looks insane, and the craziest part for me is how roughly he does that, like it was nothing. Then he adds I don't know how to call it, but it adds massive movement to the drawing. It looks like the character caused this kind of momentum. It's just amazing. I really look up to the confidence with colors. Like as I said, he uses in these steps like 5 different colors, but it still looks so nice. We really see how he goes smaller and smaller with the brush to get really every small detail. And he even makes many different versions of, for example, the code. And finally you obviously choose that one that looks the best. I mean, of course at that level you have to be perfect. Now let's get to the rendering stage. That's the stage where he makes sure that everything looks smooth and nice. Usually you smudge some edges, etc. But his approach is a little bit different, because I couldn't see a second frame where he actually smudges something. He literally makes so many brush strokes until it looks smooth. And as we can see, that process looks like everything but definitely not comfortable. Like he draws so many details just to cover everything with a big brush stroke. Finally he moves some things from the background so everything is really perfect. And he's pretty much done with his drawing. And by the way, if you're enjoying this video, I would highly appreciate if you would like this video and subscribe to my channel. And here you have someone you 100%ly saw before. Like not the person itself, but definitely the illustrations. He's literally the main illustrator for Valorant. Here we're talking about Suki Art. Renowned for his work on Valorant characters, captivating players with dynamic and engaging visuals. His attention to detail is extraordinary, evident in every stroke of his pen. From the sleek design of weapons to the subtle expressions of Valorant characters. Now let's shift to how he approaches his drawings and what his secrets really are. In this example we will see how he drew the character Gekko. And I have to disappoint you because I couldn't find any footage again from the sketching stage. But we can see that the character is roughly grayscaled. So let's start with the coloring stage. First of all, he makes a new layer and set it to multiply. Then he puts the basic colors on the grayscaled character, and as you can see, because of grayscaling, everything is instantly colored and all of the values are right. After that he also does a crazy move, maybe even crazier than Kan Liu. He makes a new layer and it's a normal layer. He takes the color colors from the stage before, and now he's putting them colors straight on the canvas. And what's really genius about it, because of the grayscaling stage, he knows where the areas are which have to be more dark, for example. The biggest benefit from this technique is that the whole drawing looks much more saturated, because now you get really rid of all the desaturated colors in the stage before. And I will definitely try it out. And we see that he makes this typical triangular veil rim shape. And by the way, you can even get his brush set. It's like with Kan Liu, there is zero chaos, every step is so precise. And he starts with detailing the head and goes slowly down to the shoes. After he's done with the first stage, he goes again over it and check if everything is really alright. And it's again like with Kan Liu, he goes smaller and smaller with the brush to get every small detail. And it's amazing for me how he drew this clothing. First of all, he drew this kind of pattern, and then he just took it and put it over the character. Then he adds the highlights and the other colors to create the depth. It looks so nice, like, let's be honest. Like, the highlights just make it so detailed and nice, and at all how simple it actually is, but how amazing this looks. Like, wow. And he's pretty much done with his drawing. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, like and subscribe. Check out my last videos, you know, and peace out.